bottom line was my family. All of a sudden we are told we've got this rare syndrome. There's no cure. There's not a lot of information. And I needed to put myself into this role to support those that were coming behind me here in Canada, and just be that contact person should somebody need to reach out and hear another voice outside of the medical field. We have an incredible genetic counseling team that were involved. But I think once a family is diagnosed, they're just told by their oncology team or GPs or whoever their team is that we'll be in touch. And so there's that lag of what do I do now? So I wanted to put myself into that role if it was possible to be part of someone's team. Not so much what they can get from me. I think it's important that people be a part of their stories. So when you're told, this monumental information, your life has just changed. So I think it's important to be a part of that story yourself rather than just listening to what you're being told by your caregivers. So ferret out the support groups like LFSA, and now, LFSA, we've grown immensely. We're at 12 chapters internationally. When I started, between myself and Samantha out of Australia, New Zealand, we were the first international chapters, and then Germany, and then it snowballed. So I think getting involved, I think. So whether it's me or yourself, I mean, you're a big part of LFSA Canada now, and I'm blessed to have you as part of our team. I want to be there for people who are newly diagnosed, to know there's a phone number on our social media sites. They can actually pick up the phone and call and speak to a human, not a computer. I think we've lost that human touch somehow, and I want to try to maintain it for our community. When I was diagnosed, there was nobody. And I was told, I don't want to say nobody because my cancer team was there and the genetic counselors, but I was told don't look online because there's not any accurate information out there. But I couldn't not go online. But I know enough, don't listen to Dr. Google sort of thing.
Right.
So that led me then to LFSA, and I reached out because there was a conference coming up, and it was literally the following week. I'm a huge believer in things happen when they're meant to. There is a path, and if it's put in front of you, you pay attention. Remember to breathe. And I think once you catch your breath, then reach out. And if you have a question in the back of your mind, don't think it's unimportant to not ask. Ask every question and build your team. A team can be everyone from your oncologist, your GP, your nurse practitioner, your genetic counselor, your family, but also reach out to your advocacy groups because we can be the one-on-one support. But it's important to be a part of your story or your child's story. If it's your child, you've become an advocate, I think, regardless of wanting to or not.
Yes, yes.
The mama or daddy bear syndrome comes out, and we want to be proactive and make sure our children are cared for. So ask your questions. But
That's
remember always to breathe. The most positive thing. Um, I think for us in Canada, we're very blessed, even though I think we complain about our health system, that it's broken, and in many areas it is challenged. But we have a surveillance protocol, like the doctors, like Dr. Lee, Dr. Fraumeni, Dr. Malkin, and so many more. And a lot are a part of our association. They've created a system that we can be looked after. So if a diagnosis of cancer comes, I think we'll catch it early. So then we're in good hands. I think for me, it's strange as it is. Yes, I'm diagnosed with LFS. Yes, I've had cancer. I think knowing I've got that surveillance, I think that's okay. Yes, we have, family dynamics, whether it's a grandchild going for blood tests and knowing that some of their cancer markers are elevated, to, a daughter or a niece having surgery in a week's time. Again, this was caught early. There was a shift. Myself, I'm going for another biopsy. If it's cancer, it's going to be caught early.
right.
So if we, um, I think we walk this path, and I don't live in my head thinking, oh, I've got this terrible condition. I think, oh, I've got another MRI, or, oh, I've got an ultrasound, and it's just become part of my life. I think the sign that's behind you, your back screen, put hereditary cancer to the test. I think if I were a genie, one wish, it would eradicate cancer, rare syndromes, any type of health related mental health. I mean, let's live in a very healthy world. I would change that. I would create a balance in our world. Get rid of, the unnecessary hurt. I don't want to say unnecessary, because it's a system we know with radiation or chemotherapy, or, there's hurt in this. It would be to take that pain away. I think there's an old saying, don't judge a cover, or don't judge a book by its cover. I think we need to, whether it's somebody that doesn't understand, but they have a family member with LFS, but they don't look broken, they don't look sick, but they've got something going on in their system. Don't judge. Sometimes the healthiest looking people have got some big turmoil going on inside. So don't be afraid to ask questions. I think people want to talk about themselves in some regard, or explain the best they can what is actually happening within. And I think when we judge or prejudge a person by their condition without actually knowing, it becomes a bigger issue within families, from what I've seen, and just in general. But I don't know if that kind of answers the question, but as you said, this is LFS Awareness Month. So awareness is speaking, reading, get to know the people around you that are affected by this. And I know we used to be called a rare syndrome, and we still really are. However, the more genetic testing that's being done worldwide, the more people will find with LFS. That's a large question. Um, it's I like to think I'm not an ego-based person. If I do the work for my family, for myself, for you, for all of us in our LFS community. If what we're creating in this arena supports one person or one family, that's all I need. I don't want people to feel alone. Little tears here. I know there won't be a cure in my lifetime. But if the work we are doing or what I am supporting being done can eradicate LFS for my children, their children, your children, that's why I do what I do. That would be my legacy, to know I've had a little bit of help or a little bit of a role in changing how this is looked at in Canada and the world.